I was so thirsty that I was willing to kill anything to get water. I mean, you can't even believe it. I was drinking my own urine, my own blood. Nothing would quench the thirst. God, I hadn't thought about this in a while. And I got to the top of this ridge line, and there was a waterfall. And I was trying to slide down into it. I was like, I'm just going to go down in here, and I'm going to hit that water, and it's going to be something good to drink. So I tried to slide down. I just took off. I got uncontrollably. I started sliding. I rotated upside down. And I remember looking over, and my rifle was sliding beside me. I couldn't throw that thing away. It's like every time I'd lose it, one of my boys was like, hey, you're going to need this. And I flipped into upside down, over backwards, into the river. And I remember my knees hit me in the face, and it knocked me out again. And I was kind of, I was a blobbering mess. Everything was broken. And I rolled over, and I remember kind of sitting on all fours. I picked my head up, and I looked up, and there was that water fountain there. And I remember sliding down. This is the craziest thing. God, I hadn't thought about this. And I remember seeing this little pool of water, and I was like, oh, it'd be a great place to get something to drink. So I crawled back up into this thing, and I leaned into that waterfall, and I remember washing my face and hands. My gloves were, I had gloves on, the mechanic gloves, and all the fingers were ripped out, and the palms were ripped out. So I was just kind of, and it was the best water I ever had. I'll never forget it. It was cold, and I was hurting real bad. And I remember hearing somebody screaming at me. And I kind of turned around, and over my shoulder, there was a guy standing there looking at me, pointing at me. He was like, Taliban, Taliban. So I swung around with my rifle, and then all of a sudden, behind me again, I could hear someone screaming at me. They're like, and I look up, and there's this guy standing on the hill that I'd just fallen off of. But he didn't have a weapon. He was just pointing at me. And then there were some guys on the ridgeline moving around. They had weapons. I saw them. So I turned back around, and I kind of started to crawl. I was like, man, I was in a channelized area. It was kind of bad. And I remember I was leaning against this rock. I was sitting on my butt. I had my rifle in my hand. I was breathing. I couldn't breathe. I'd bitten my tongue in half, and I was like, that's a crazy story. But the guy screamed at me again.